Hello, BBN. The rumor about the fight between Mark Pope and Pat Kelsey is further proof that the Kentucky-Louisville rivalry is back. But did they really fight? It doesn't seem like much, but the rivalry exists. Let's see what's new from Kentucky. The Kentucky-Louisville college basketball rivalry. One of the richest and most historic in the NCAA is about to gain even more exciting chapters. Between rumors of off-court disagreements, ironic statements, and the growing tension, it's clear that emotions are being reignited for a matchup that promises to be unforgettable this season. The protagonists of this story are shared by two charismatic and respected coaches, Mark Pope from Kentucky and Pat Kelsey from Louisville. They not only represent their respective programs, also symbolize the renewal of a rivalry that, in recent years, has been far from a reality. The epicenter of this wave of speculation was the alleged incident involving Pope and Kelsey at an HHE, an apartment where they were both allegedly trying to recruit Tay Kinney, one of the most sought-after players in the country. Although concrete details are scarce, reports indicate a certain level of verbal animosity, nothing that warrants dramatic descriptions like fighting, but enough to fuel rumors and generate curiosity. The scene described by sources close to the case suggests that Pope, late for his meeting with Kinney, was frustrated to find Kelsey already engaged in conversation. Words were exchanged, but, according to reports, everything remained verbally restrained, without any hint of physical violence. Even so, this episode is emblematic. It reflects how the competitiveness between Kentucky and Louisville extends beyond the four lines of the court and is rooted in something greater: the desire to outdo the opponent in every aspect. Since taking over as head coach of Kentucky basketball, Mark Pope has demonstrated an unparalleled ability to handle high-pressure situations. His level-headed demeanor and quick wit were evident during the live broadcast of the Field of 68 when he joked about his relationship with Kelsey. Faced with comments suggesting a need for more tension between the two coaches, Pope responded with lightheartedness, even mentioning photos of himself being used as a dartboard in Kelsey's bedroom. This ability to transform tensions into moments of relaxation is one of Pope's trademarks, as he has worked tirelessly to re-establish Kentucky as a powerhouse, and the numbers speak for themselves. Under Pope, Kentucky's roster was rebuilt with an impressive budget, the result of strategic investments that secured the arrival of talents like Otega Oweh, considered a favorite for the CEC Player of the Year award in the preseason. The excitement surrounding the team is palpable. The Field of 68 Rankings place the Wildcats 7th among the best teams in the country, even before the season starts. This position reflects not only the individual quality of the players, but also the collective vision Pope has implemented in his style of play. On the other side, Pat Kelsey and Louisville are not far behind. The Cardinals are just ahead in the rankings, at 6th, and boast Michael Brown Jr., a freshman who is emerging as one of the jewels of the new generation. Whoever Kinney chooses will certainly impact the future of these programs. But regardless, the matchup between Kentucky and Louisville is already guaranteed to be one of the highlights of the season. Scheduled for November 11th, the game will be played in Louisville, significantly earlier than the traditional matchup date. This adds an extra layer of urgency and intensity, as both teams will still be adjusting to the dynamics of the new season. This rivalry dates back decades and includes iconic moments. In recent years, however, it has lost some of its luster, with Kentucky dominating the matchups and Louisville struggling to establish itself at the top. Now, with two charismatic coaches and competitive teams, there's a unique opportunity to restore balance and restore prestige to this rivalry. We'll see. Andrea Jelavic's story and his arrival at Kentucky. Basketball is a rare example of simplicity amid the usual complexity of college recruiting. While other prospects spend months, sometimes years, pondering their choices, weighing offers, and engaging in a veritable bidding war. Jelavic's path to Lexington was as straightforward as a precise perimeter pass. All it took was one conversation with Mark Pope for him to say yes. It's easy to understand why the decision was so clear to the Croatian forward. The name Kentucky carries with it an almost mystical aura in the world of college basketball, a brand recognized even thousands of miles away. When his agent first mentioned the Wildcats' interest, Jelavic didn't hesitate. He knew right then and there that he wanted to wear the blue and white of Kentucky. And when Mark Pope personally called to formalize the invitation, the young forward needed no further explanations or promises. He had already made up his mind. This kind of instant commitment is something few programs can inspire. But that's exactly what makes Kentucky different. The combination of the strength of the brand, the legacy built over decades, and Pope's charisma created a unique situation. For Jelavic, it wasn't just an opportunity to play high-level basketball. It was a chance to be part of something bigger, something iconic. And he knew this from the start. Coach Mark Pope, known for his ability to connect with players and build genuine relationships, played a key role in this story. His conversation with Jelavic was brief but impactful. He didn't need to sell dreams or promise future glory. He simply needed to be transparent, show confidence in the player's potential, and convey how much he would be valued within the program. It was enough for Jelavic to shut down any other possibilities before they even arose. No other coach had the chance to contact him after that. Kentucky was the destination. Period. But what makes this hire even more exciting for Wildcats fans is Andrea Jelavic's profile. Despite technically being a rookie, he arrives with the baggage of a veteran. At 21 years old and with solid experience against senior players in the Adriatic League, he averaged impressive 11 points, 7.4 rebounds, and 1 steal per game. Jelavic brings with him a maturity few players his age possess. He's not just another raw talent waiting to be molded. He's a player ready to contribute immediately. Pope knows this and has already made it clear that he expects a significant impact from Jelavic in his inaugural season. He's a veteran, the coach stated, highlighting the forward's experience against older, more physically developed opponents. This trait will be essential for a team seeking to maintain its position among the powerhouses of college basketball. In a sport where young players often need time to adapt, Jelavic seems to be the exception to the rule. Furthermore, his versatility is another factor that sparks excitement. He has the ideal physique for a forward, but his skills go beyond size. His ability to score, rebound, and even create plays demonstrates a well-rounded package that could fit perfectly into Pope's dynamic systems. His playing style, honed on European courts, promises to add a new dimension to the Kentucky team, offering solutions both defensively and offensively. The speed with which everything unfolded also reflects Jelavic's professionalism and determination. From the moment he learned of Kentucky's interest, he knew this was where he wanted to be. There was no hesitation, no attempts to explore other options. He embraced the opportunity with the same intensity he demonstrates on the court. This kind of mindset-focused, decisive, and ambitious is exactly what any program desires in its players. For Kentucky fans, the arrival of Andrea Jelavic represents more than just a key addition to the roster. It's a testament to the continued power of the brand and Mark Pope's strategic vision. By successfully attracting a high-level international player without even having to compete with other universities, Pope demonstrated that Kentucky remains an irresistible destination for those who dream of playing elite college basketball, now that Jelavic has officially joined the team. All eyes are on the future. Expectations are high, but the Croatian winger seems ready to deliver. He didn't come to Kentucky just to play. He came to make his mark, to honor the program's tradition of excellence. A CBS Sports report by Matt Norlander clearly exposed the uncertainty surrounding the 2026 recruiting class. Only 7 of the top 50 prospects have already committed to a university, a number that would once have sounded a warning sign for any elite program. But in Lexington, Mark Pope and his staff are following a different path, welcoming high-level recruits while many sec and big. 10 rivals are waiting for the dust to settle. The reason for this wait isn't technical, but financial. The NIL era has introduced new variables that have reshaped the recruiting process. Schools that previously threw out millions of dollars without much question now measure each step, calculating not only the immediate impact, but also the budget available in future seasons. It's not just about assembling a competitive roster, but also about balancing resources across different sports, especially football. It consumes a generous slice of the pie in the richest conferences in this complex context. Pope displays the same aggressiveness that has characterized his style of play, while rival programs postpone visits and avoid putting concrete figures on the table. Kentucky opens its campus doors and reinforces its position of strength. It's no coincidence the Wildcats, unlike so many others, don't seem stifled by financial uncertainty. Their fundraising history, national appeal, and the organization of their support base place the program in a privileged position, allowing Pope to continue recruiting without the hesitation that paralyzes some of the competition. An SEC coach's comment to Norlander illustrates the dilemma. With an estimated budget of $3.5 million for 2026 to 27, there's no room to risk more than $1 million on a high school recruit without the certainty that the account will be closed the following spring. It's precisely this cautious approach that has slowed the process and given athletes a rare position of power. However, Kentucky doesn't seem willing to play the same game of chicken described in the article. Pope knows that, amid widespread indecision, those who move with confidence and a solid structure can gain valuable ground. Another point that favors the Wildcats is their own institutional strategy. At Big E schools, for example, the lack of a major American football team means more room to invest in basketball. Still, only one top 100 player has committed to this conference, a sign that athletic and brand appeal weigh as heavily as financial flexibility. And this is precisely where Kentucky has the advantage. It combines both elements in a single package: the uncertainty surrounding NIL Go and the attempts to circumvent it only increase the complexity of the scenario. The NCAA is trying to establish parameters, but coaches and agents are already looking for loopholes. The competition isn't just for talent, but for who best understands how to navigate this new ecosystem. Pope, with his proactive stance, has shown that Kentucky doesn't intend to be just another spectator in the process. If there's a consensus among the players, it's that the 2026 class doesn't generate the same immediate enthusiasm as previous cycles. But precisely for this reason, each successful move can have an even greater impact. Mark Pope's work so far reinforces that Kentucky isn't afraid to take calculated risks. In an environment where many prefer to wait, the program is moving forward. And Pope has been moving forward strategically. Leave your comments.